Yesterday, a friend sent me a lot of these super large pompey, but I was so stunned when I saw them. Let me show you the effect when they first enter the tank. This is not a pompey, it is larger than the crucian carp. At first I had the illusion that this fur color would be super beautiful. I'll check it out today. Turns out Pompeii is the collective name. This is a large finned fish and is a subfamily of the Pompeii. But it's not a mouse. In other words, it is two types of fish. The most important thing is that it does not develop color. It's just a big whiteboard. I'm a bit disappointed. I think I'm in trouble. If you look at the little red fish in the tank, this is Pompeii. Its body color is now unclear, but in the spring, its color will reflect light beautifully, as well as other large fish. There are no problems in this tank for now, but unfortunately, this is not a cocky mouth. I made a mistake again. Oh, but that does not matter. After I caught the big fish, these fish will definitely be eliminated. Very harmonious when they are included. Many people say that native tanks are very cheap and easy to maintain. I think this depends on each person's understanding. If you like wild vegetables and have time, take a few friends out to gather some ingredients and open a tank when you get back. This is a very interesting process. Otherwise, it will be like labor and travel costs. You can calculate about the device. I made my own lights and used an old bottom filter tank. But what about this filter material, cotton, etc.? No problem. Looked at this way, I feel that there is not a huge difference in terms of cost. And what you call easy to maintain, I feel that easy to maintain, I mean it can be maintained on the basis of basic judgment. Minimize care. Even if you don't have time to change water or food, there won't be any bad situations. This is considered easy to raise. Dog breeds that can be kept are subject to certain restrictions. They cannot grow too large, and their numbers cannot be particularly large. The most important thing is that they are omnivores, so you only need to feed them once in a while. If it's really not good, you can also feed a few green dates in the tank, so that it can last a long time. Even if you don't take care of it, regularly maintain it. Having said that, let's go back to accessories. If the lighting is not good, it is difficult to maintain green moss. If the filter is not good, it will be difficult to ensure that the water does not change over a long period of time. So there is no fixed standard for this. By no means are indigenous tanks easy to maintain. This mainly depends on how you combine it. Since I completed this natural tank, I usually buy some small fish on the internet and add them. Today, I originally wanted to show it off to you. I just bought this little fish a few days ago. Suddenly, I realized something happened. This fish is very beautiful, but it is eating the green algae on my rocks. I had to work very hard to cover my rocks with a layer of this green algae. Almost a whole year, but not much. And now they have been bitten by it. This, I don't know how to describe it. You are bald, that's all. Your gnawing is so bad, I just went looking for fish food and tried it. The fish nibbles on my green dates and doesn't want to eat them. Suddenly I felt pressured by the invasion of alien species. The small shrimps and tigers I bought from somewhere else didn't work either. The big-eyed thief in my tank caused heavy casualties, but my local gobies have no problem. If you look at it this way, it's my native tank still have to rely on me to collect it from the wild. Many people ask why I haven't taken photos of natural tanks lately. The main reason why it turned out like this, I'm really convinced. I bought 10 small fish from a natural tank. I bought it online, and it turned out like this. It's only been a few days. It was the first time I felt a fish could remove moss so quickly. This is crazy. Please leave me some. This is my first time entering a native aquarium. This is also the first time I feel that green jujubes look so beautiful when full. It was also the first time I saw a fish eat green jujubes so quickly. This guy opened the tank and it touched me so much. Fell down recently. This time no one said, I wouldn't. I just don't want to. Use spirit to catch fish. But whoever participated in the green date eating incident did not think of running away. I never thought that this dissolute soul of mine would not only break your heart. If we still have a chance, I will go shopping on the continent to pamper you. Do you remember the stream tank that was gnawed bare by fish? To see if green dates will return, the 10 small fish I bought online not long ago really gave me a hard time. At first, I couldn't fish them out. Then I made a fishing trap, and there are 4 fish left. Even the trap couldn't catch them. Oh my god, it's so hard. A few days ago, I couldn't do anything. I took the rocks in and out of the tank and took them out. so I couldn't catch it. Haven't I caught it? After restoring the water tank, I discovered there were 2 more fish and 2 stones. Let's see what happened. In the end, my spirit really broke down. Then I took some inhumane measures and found a bottle of carbon dioxide. Then I add something to this tank, mainly because fish eat jujube. I really can't stand it, you see? It's so dense, feels like it's full of bugs. Luckily I caught them all. Then I would first think about how useful this would be if placed in a grass tank. Then I will restore the circulation in this tank, then keep the sheep, and then rescue them. Look at these little fish. They are suffocated. Okay. In the end, they were all saved. What surprised me the most was that in just 2 days, the green jujube trees in the tank have basically grown back. When the tank is turned over, only a few stones are disturbed in order. Cannot be reset. Then wait for it to grow slowly. Later, when adding fish to the tank, we really have to think twice before letting them in. This wave of manipulation is really difficult for me to handle. Hit my heart. The heart is sleeping. Slowly open your eyes to see if the busy world is still spinning in loneliness. The incomprehensible spring wind blew into the boy's heart. After the green dates in the tank are diluted and eroded, replanting doesn't work either. Doesn't look nice. On the contrary, the blue color developed on this new stone was quite good. Today I will feed these native fish larvae to native fish larvae. The steel native larva is made of raw steel, and I will clean it and show you if it looks the same. Familiar to me. I use it at home. Very similar, right? This type of conch brush is actually used to clean bare or blue steel. When the steel bottom is deep and out of reach, it is better to use this type of long-handled conch brush. But since I play with raw steel, this is basically what I use. Come and brush these algae-covered rocks. But be careful, we just need to brush away those unwanted spots. After brushing off those gray jujubes, you can see underneath they're still green. First, keep this type to see if it can reproduce. Many people say that raw steel is easy, just put some ice cubes in and wait for it to run wild. But do you really think that this type of steel doesn't need human care? There is no supporting device and corresponding support. There is no one to manage and take care of it. It cannot be in particularly good condition. I hope this time I can clean it up, and it might be what I want next week. Do you still remember the green appearance of this pure steel from before? Since green dates turn black, I have checked a lot of information online. Currently, there are 3 opinions. Some people say the water is too fertile. These green algae are gradually growing into another type of algae. Some people also think that this is a process of alternating between the old and the new. New green algae grow at the bottom, and the old dates above, if you keep a few fish, can promptly clean them up to maintain the green color. Now I have some doubts. I don't know if I wrongly blamed these small fish for eating seaweed when I locked them in a room or not. Another theory is that green algae is a normal process. They turn blue first, and then black. When it turns green again, it will always be green. I think this is better. When I just looked at the green algae, I suddenly discovered that the big-eyed thieves in my tank were gone. I mentioned earlier that the goby is in the tank. The tank has disappeared. I'm always bullied by these big-eyed bandits, all bared their teeth and claws. Why did I suddenly feel like the tiger shrimp flew away? Then the big-eyed bandits disappeared. I'm just looking for some little shrimp to feed. According to ancient times, thieves have big eyes, so they take action. Then they get the food and eat it. Then the little fish should be afraid. But why do you feel these little fish are so immoral today? Is there something going on in the tank? These gobies have overturned the rule of the big-eyed thief. It seems like we really have to put it on the agenda to go wild harvesting. How can we do it if there are no shrimp in this tank? But the last thing that makes me happy is that this changpu tree is still alive. You can see that they are growing out of the water. This way, I just need to get this blue fish tank back later. The tank will be full of life again. I've been seeing a lot of private messages lately, asking me how to keep this native fish from jumping out of the tank. Actually, this is very simple. I just need to make it not afraid of me. This is half the battle. Look, if this is a new fish. More than half of them can be popped out in just 2 jumps. In the first stage, you need to find a transparent mesh. Cover it, and visit often to interact with it, feed the fish, etc. This way, as it gets used to your presence, at least it won't get scared and jump out of the tank. Must be well maintained. It's been 7 or 8 years since you used a bottom tank like the one I'm using, with more water. Although it is very simple, it must be said that if you purely raise fish, you still need a solid bottom. First of all, if you raise clams like this, I think I should raise these fish. You don't need to raise clams, but I still put one in and put it in the bottom. Nothing less than. Make sure the water capacity in the water is large enough. If there is filter cotton here, it will work. Cautiously, it is estimated that it has been more than 3 months. Haven't cleaned it yet. Let me see. Above is crushed egg, all wrinkled. Next is the cashmere cotton layer. Underneath the cashmere layer, this side, is crushed coal. Then there is crushed coal, and down below is body cotton. Below is biochemical cotton. It is structured like this, class by class, from smooth to rough. If cleaned as usual, you usually take ground eggs, clean, and then replace the cashmere cotton layer underneath. It's done. Yesterday, the big-eyed thief in the pool suddenly disappeared. I was also so confused. So today I turned on the filter to see what the cause was. But as soon as I opened the eggs, guess what I see inside? There are a lot of black-shelled shrimp. Looking at it like this, the big-eyed thief's problem probably has nothing to do with water quality. I won't wash the egg blender. Set it aside, then choose cashmere cotton instead. Clean charcoal for a while before using. Simply clean out the crushed coal and replace it with some fresh cashmere. But when it comes to cashmere, I remember that when this cotton was sold before, many people have asked whether it blocks water or not. Water blocking problem. I don't really understand either. Normally when we use this type of cotton, the water flow will penetrate directly, but will block the trash. By the time, trash will accumulate. Once full, the water flow will not be smooth. Now it's not so. We just need to take it out, clean and replace it. Is this operation wrong? I won't wash this egg today. I just put it back on the necklace. Inside there is a shrimp nest. I think they're still doing well inside. They are safe and have food to eat. Right? Just stay there. Many people are curious about my tank's filtration system. You see, it's very simple. Don't you think it's not that magical? Last time I went out, caught a few fish, and then returned. Many people say that this type of fish can be caught. Actually, as long as the water quality is guaranteed and disinfected well, there will be no problems unless vital organs are injured. Look at these wounds. Haven't they all healed? Appearance is a bit low, without any color. Some other time I'll put this little goby in the swimming pool. Feeling bad, it felt like the corner of its mouth had something like a parasite. Oh my God, what is this? It is beyond my understanding. It is like a blood vessel connected directly from the beginning, and then branching out. Is this a pair of pliers? Can anyone who knows me know if this disease is contagious? Should I take care of it right away? If you're like the fish we collected, the wound has been treated and the parasite has also been treated. There will be no more problems. All that's left is to start eating and see if it can open its mouth to eat normally. If it can be eaten, this fish will basically last a long time without any problems. You are like these little white strips. About how slowly they eat, I feel like as long as this fish doesn't jump out of the tank, you can definitely keep it. And this big-eyed thief, if you keep it with regular little tropical fish, it would be a killer. But if you keep it in these fish, I feel it's just a tool. Let's clean up these food residue and try some shrimp to see if those big fish can open their mouths to eat. Actually, I think these big fish must be quite difficult. They are caught with deer teeth anyway. No one can have such a short memory. This big-eyed thief is really too aggressive. The little fish rushed to fight with it. Guess I can't win. After a while it will slip out. If a fish like this refuses to eat it first, add a little more. Let it go at night. Sometimes it can be more alert and wait until the lights go out to find something to eat. What if he doesn't eat the next day? The next night just take it out and turn it off. Repeat this cycle a few times until it feels safe. Then leave it alone and let it play on its own. I also cleaned out my saltwater tank today. This rampage is finally over. It's painful. Let's take some time to go to the beach and pick some up over the next 2 days. No, this should be called going to the beach. Let's go pick up some seawater and get back to playing. Someone asked me before if this type of acrylic feeder is useful. If you keep some slow-swimming fish, like peacocks, and like clean water, this is completely useless. But if you are a fish with strong currents, if you bring a first-class tank, you will find this thing really fragrant. You don't have to worry about the fish food being sucked up by the oil film or the first-class door. We'll wait below, then drop it and eat some. This is truly a very comfortable way of feeding. Such fixed-point feeding and fixed-point cleaning can better maintain the environment in the tank and keep the water quality clean. Then set it aside again so that the water quality is kept clean. So it's okay, right? I think this is the end of the series on how to make a fish tank full of rocks. If you have any good ideas, don't forget to comment below so we can discuss together. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to see interesting things ahead. Thank you very much.